It's utter heresy to think that you're going to convince a customer to come, and once they're there, you're not going to bother with them anymore. Hello, I'm Mickael. I'm Head of Customer Experience at Waalaxy. I've been here for about a year and a half, and I'm in charge of all customer relations with my support team. The job of Head of Customer Experience at Waalaxy has 3 pillars. The first pillar is really focused on support, that is, assistance to the customer. The second pillar is focused on quality analyst, where my job is to make sure that what we deliver in production on the application is correctly done and meets the customer's needs. And finally, a more advisory role where, with the hindsight I've gained in customer relations, I can advise and support other teams in their product choices. Retention is the ability to keep a customer who comes to us. It's an extremely important subject for all companies, in the sense that if you've had a customer from your company, you've had someone who was a prospect at a given moment, who had a problem and who chose your solution to solve it. From that moment on, it's important that they should be able to remain a customer and continue their life as a customer with you, that they should keep your solution to solve their problem. It's all about maximizing the customer's lifespan and ensuring that you can constantly deliver the value they expect from your tool. So at Waalaxy, support is really the body that talks to the customer, but really it's support that will receive all customer requests, whether they're technical incidents or sales or support requests. We're not in the business of having several levels of expertise within the team. What we want is to have people working in support. We'll call them agents, for example, who are extremely competent and can manage a customer case from start to finish. But really, we don't have a sales team, so customers can come to us with all kinds of questions, whether before or after purchase. So it's all about understanding the problem. One of the things we often say is that one word in a customer's vocabulary can actually mean 4 words to us. So for us, it's pretty important to be able to quickly identify what the real problem is. Because the customer is going to describe a symptom, something he's encountering on the application that's not supposed to be normal. So there's really a proactive side to understanding his problem. And that's why we've also set up a whole range of in-house tools so that our support team can consult the historical data to assist the customer and anticipate any further questions. And the whole point is that having quality support helps reassure customers. If they encounter a problem, they know they'll have competent people they can talk to and who can help them resolve it. So there's a real challenge here, which is that once the prospect has become a customer of ours, well, he knows he's being supported, he knows he'll be able to use the solution to the full of his possibilities, his capacities. And that's how we ensure that they stay with us as customers and adopt our solution 100%. The goal isn't to respond as quickly as possible to a customer's request, it's to do it right the first time. That's really something that's important. If the user has to wait 15 minutes to get the right answer, one that responds exactly to his problem and solves it. So we prefer that to versus an answer in 2 minutes and 3 seconds, okay, but where in fact you have to wait 25 minutes to get an answer from an N1/N2, because in this case the person who answered didn't know, and so on. Every customer who comes to us needs to have an experience that's tailor-made for them. It's something that's very important to us because when a customer feels listened to, when we specifically address their problem using the semantics they'll have, using photos of their interface, it's something where they'll feel they've been listened to and understood. So we've put a number of things in place, but the cornerstone of our strategy is super optimized processes for our users who come to us with a problem. In the space of 30 seconds, they can receive a screenshot of their own interface, annotated by a human being, someone who has been able to read, make, annotate, and send it. The idea is that we're in a chat room. The advantage of chat or email, but even more so of chat, is that you can easily exchange media resources, notably GIFs, notably annotated screenshots, and this allows you to have a customer who is ultra supported. He's on his computer. He can take the time to see what we've sent him and what we've made to measure for him. So there's really this component of having a whole logic of pre-recorded messages, because when a customer encounters a problem, we work on the principle that if we have 3 customers reporting a problem, we need to prepare a detailed and complete response if the problem arises again. And in this respect, the logic is also not to necessarily write large chunks where the customer will actually find the answer. Anyway, we've put everything in there, so he'll find his answer. No, the logic is that when the user arrives, he potentially has such and such an approach to his problem, or such and such a symptom with his problem. And so, for the same problem, we can go as far as making 2 or 3 pre-recorded answers, each of which tackles a precise angle of the problem he's going to encounter. Our whole support team focuses on a pan-ops approach to try and identify these things, and does a lot of A/B testing on our recorded answers, on how a customer perceives a given answer. How will they take the variant here to really optimize it and make sure that when they come to us with a question, they feel that they're being supported and understood? A negative customer experience is never pleasant, either for the customer or for the person answering the question. First and foremost, a negative customer experience often involves a lot of emotion and frustration. The number one key is to understand what emotion the person contacting us is feeling. Recognizing it is really important too. And taking action, that's really it. These are three things we work on a lot, and they get us away from all the classic negotiation strategies, which are really about, okay, you've got a problem, you put it this way. Okay, you're pissed off. You're upset. I understand, because in this situation, you're feeling these emotions, and I could do it for you. I agree. How can we move forward now? You have to be precise. It's not just, oh yeah, I understand the problem, so we'll solve it. No, it's, okay, now I feel you're upset, and actually in your place in the situation, and we name the exact situation, that would waste my time, and I'd be just as upset as you. How can we do this? This is really important. It's understanding what the customer is going through and feeling, and then working with them.
Unfortunately, there are also cases where we just can't act.
If we typically take the case of price increases with people who aren't happy because our prices are changing, because our technology is changing, then we're in a bit of a bind. And then there's a customer experience that starts from a negative point of view, and the idea is to bring it back to a neutral level. We can't guarantee that every negative customer experience will turn out to be a positive one. Sometimes it's just a matter of avoiding something negative. But it can't be positive because we didn't have the solution the customer was hoping for at the time. And the idea is that they've had a good time with one of the human beings who works with us, one of the members of our team who is also human, who feels things, and with whom we can talk and have a good time, even if, in the end, things didn't necessarily turn out as expected. Today, there are just under 10 people working at Waalaxy, and we have 2 months to really see how things are going and how good we are at what we do. We're going to ask customers for their opinion, so it's sat, and customers simply rate the conversation they've had with the person on our team. We've also introduced something called the Internal Quality Score, IQS, this year. In fact, we've set up a QA tool for analyzing the quality of conversations, where every week each member of the team rereads his or her own conversations. They'll reread a few of them, and then when they're called, they'll do a little debriefing on what went well in these conversations. Did I respond well? Was I empathetic enough? Was the solution I came up with the best one? Did I include a call to action so that the customer knew exactly what to do? Did I respect our internal processes? These are often little communication tricks. Leaving a note for a colleague, because I'm not going to be there tomorrow to pick up the conversation, and therefore the necessary information, etc.
And also if they're going on holidays.
And then he'll also leave to reread and give an opinion on his colleagues' conversations. And here's the thing, every human being is different. Everyone has a slightly different approach, everyone has his or her qualities and faults, and the most important thing is to be able to identify how a conversation that has been well managed, or even very well managed, according to our internal criteria, can be taken as an example, and from which we can draw guidelines for the new members of our team, so that they are onboarded on these guidelines, and for the older members, so that their work evolves. So that's a really big part. We're going to check both the hard skills, that is, everything to do with the team's application, and the soft skills, that is, the part that really relates to the customer, whether it's in tone, whether it's, for example, the use of smileys, which for us is extremely important, the use of GIFs, the fact that we can have lots of pre-recorded answers. We have over 700, so obviously we don't know them all by heart. So the idea is also to be able to mix and match, so that everyone on the team can have as many pre-recorded answers in mind as possible, to be able to work ever more effectively with our customers.
Waalaxy aims to be a simple tool.
What we want is to be the simplest tool on the market to really open up automated LinkedIn prospecting to anyone. You get on the tool, you import, you launch a campaign, you get results. It's that simple. Customer support must also be simple. In other words, it has to be easy to contact us. On every page of the application, there's a little bubble in the bottom right-hand corner, so if you click on it, you can see us. We're just going to qualify the conversation a little beforehand to get a bit more information on your problem so that our team can take action straight away. And the idea behind this is to help you as quickly as possible with as much precision as possible about how to use the tool. If there's the slightest doubt, the support team comes in and clarifies things for you. We want our users to be able to get results with our tool, so customer support is always there to provide exactly those things. The support team is really interconnected with the technical team, where they exchange information on a daily basis on the technical problems of the day or week or month, depending on the deadlines we have, and to be able to really be this armed arm of the troubleshooting, so to go and ask the customer for information, to go and do tests on our side to try and reproduce the problems that for customers internally and pass the most. More information to our technical team and collaborate on the decisions we need to take to solve, to change something. And as soon as we need to change something, that is, change a behavior in production, in the application as a user, we'll also interact with the product team. So we're right in the middle of it all. The tech team, the product team, the support team in the middle, and the product team love support for a good reason, because support talks to customers all day long. As a result, the team provides an absolutely insane amount of feedback. And the advantage of this feedback is that it often comes from discussions. A user comes in, gives an opinion, and we try to dig a little deeper in support, asking questions like, why do you want to do this? What's the point? What's the use? We try a little harder to qualify the problem so the customer doesn't just get raw feedback. We've already done a bit of research and asked questions so that the customer can ask himself the right questions, give us full feedback, and then it's passed on to the product team so that every week we get a product feedback pipe. We have a channel dedicated to this where we send everything so that afterwards it can be looked at and so that we can improve the quality of the application and always serve our users better, always deliver more value to them. One of the main criteria for an application, apart from customer retention, is its stability. In other words, no matter how well you deliver value, if the application you have isn't necessarily stable, if it's full of bugs, well, it's clearly a rose with thorns. It's beautiful, it's pretty, it smells good, it's pleasant to look at, but as soon as you want to use it, you put your hand on it and it pricks you on all sides. That's where support really comes into play. It's going to be a matter of allowing customers to express themselves, collect the data, do the test on their side, contact the technical team, keep the customer patient, make him understand that the problem has been understood, that it's being dealt with, and keep him informed on a regular basis. Our team follows up each individual case of a customer who has reported a problem and keeps them informed, which is something they really take to heart, keeping customers informed and following up to see if they're having problems. Behind this, we interact a great deal on the stability side with pairs of developers who will be assigned to discussions with support on a weekly basis. This is a tool we've set up internally where every week you'll have 2 developers, sometimes even 3, who will interact with us on all the week's requests. We'll create tickets and bug cards, and then we'll interact with them to try and get all the information we need to solve the problem as quickly as possible so that we can resolve these technical incidents one by one. Because an application is code, there will always be little bugs. The point is to have no bugs that affect our users' experience. Today we're really focusing on the customer experience, and we're going to make sure that as soon as there's a problem, it's fixed for tomorrow. But it's also fixed for what happened to make sure it has the least impact on our users. Customer support is an investment, and there's no point in having 50 sales if you've got 10 support people behind you who are going to be completely swamped by requests. It's utter nonsense to think that you're going to convince a customer to come in, and once they're there, you're not going to take care of them anymore. So for a lot of companies, support is a bit like, we're going to do this, we're going to put in because we have to, because there has to be a contact button on the site so that people can talk to us. We're really going to put in as few resources as possible, fewer means, whether it's in recruitment, in upgrading the skills of the teams, in the quality of the team's work. It's super important to optimize your support processes. The more time they have available to deal with customer cases, the better experience they can offer customers. Your customers need to know that if they have a problem, they can contact a human being easily, quickly, and competently, and that's crucial. The competence of your support team is a cornerstone of your retention strategy. We're in SAS, we contact one of our suppliers, we have a technical problem, we explain to them what's happening on the application, we make them videos because we're used to doing that for our customers too. We send them all this and they say, yes, try cutting your Wi-Fi and putting it back on, but that's not possible. We can't work like that. We lose all credibility. And for us, that's really something that's fundamental, maintaining credibility with the user. In troubleshooting, we eliminate the steps where we know for a fact that it won't make sense. Why waste someone's time on the name of a process you set up 17 years ago and never wanted to challenge? It doesn't work that way. Customer service is an integral part of your business and your retention strategy. You have to invest time in it. You have to invest in it because that's where you'll have the greatest opportunities. Your team has customer insights that are just great. Let them express themselves, let them manage, and above all, let them develop their skills. The more autonomy they have, the more they enjoy their work, the more they'll want to stay with you. Because that's where customer retention counts, and so does the retention of your teams, and that's really important. So there you have it, a little insight into how we manage customer retention and how we look after our users here at Waalaxy with our support team. Feel free to follow us around. And come and see us. We love to have visitors, especially on the site with the big acquisition.